Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long goes 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long goes 1975.
This is Turbo Outrun on the Atari ST, released in 1989 by US Gold. I don't know who programmed this version because Tiertex was basically the closest thing US Gold had to their own in-house software developer, but I'm pretty sure they did the Mega Drive version, which is awful. Absolutely terrible, and I have a gameplay comparison of it against the Amiga version of this, which isn't amazing, but I generally believe that the Amiga version is better than the Mega Drive version for the simple fact that it's a little bit more ambitious, as you could argue this is because of the roadside obstacles or objects, because the Mega Drive has none of them. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Turbo Outrun was released in the arcades by Sega in 1989 and is a direct follow-up to the original Outrun released in 1986, which is arcade royalty. They're both super scalers. It's one of those cases where it just doesn't live up to the pedigree of the original. The original is a better game. Once again, you have to race across America, but you have a main opponent. You're in a Ferrari F40, they're in a Porsche 959, but there are no branching paths in this. None. I mean, why would you do that? It did look fantastic in the arcades. I had played it in the arcades and have gameplay of it on main, but it was just, it lacked. Oh look, we're getting some sugar. It just lacked that, you know, like the fact that there were branching paths and thing like that. It just lacked a level of depth compared to the original, but obviously it tried to make up for that by adding a turbo, which you can see there, and obviously pointless turbo gauges in the bottom left hand corner, which you can use to get a boost of speed, but ultimately it overheats and you have to let it cool down. I mean, it's a nice mechanic, but you know, I'll take the branching paths of the original game over it. Don't know how successful it was. Do know that you could either, as an arcade owner, buy a new cabinet or get an upgrade kit for the original Outrun, so I'm guessing it runs on the same board. Anyway, this was ported to the Spectrum, Amstrad, Amiga, Atari ST, Commodore 64. Spectrum version is actually pretty good, believe it or not. Commodore 64 version is meh, but it has absolutely fantastic music. That won an award. Anyway, you're pretty sure you're familiar with Turbo Outrun if you watch this YouTube channel. So let's get into it. So I played this on the Amiga, genuinely haven't played this on the Atari ST. How different can they be? Words to kick me in the plums. So let's get into it. Fire. Oh, you can have automatic or you can have manual. Manual is just basically high and low like it was, you know, in the original Outrun or in the arcade. I'm assuming that's because you've got a turbo button, they wanted to like limit the controls, because obviously we could not handle a shift high, shift low as well as a turbo button because we were kids and it was the 80s and our poor tiny little minds fire. Loading times on this are absolutely appalling. Wonder what they're like in game, because when I played this on the Amiga, alright, it was on my A500 Mini, I had to edit them out. They were awful. Anyway, automatic, which looks exactly the same as a manual gearbox. So look, that's how you change a gearbox in a Ferrari F40, in case you wondered. Don't think there are any convertible Ferrari F40s. Anyway, stage bottom right, laptop right, score top left. To the left of score is my time. Turbo gauge does nothing. Your car's lovely. I want to say immediately, was the Amiga this jerky? Look, it just showed me shifting, in case you needed to know that, right? But, fire, I had to press it twice. Oh, this is jerky town. I mean, it looks alright when it's not moving. That's my enemy. Enemy's probably too strong of a descriptive word for what it is. Your steering is literally full right, full left. Oh no, you don't, you Porsche bastard. Oh, these are the most, that's awful. These were the two technically most advanced cars of the era, weren't they? Well, no, the Porsche was. Ferrari took a different route, didn't it? It had string for door handles, really, really thin paintwork, and did it even have a stereo? I don't think it had carpets. This is awful. I haven't played it on the Amiga. Why am I overheating? I only pressed it once. Because obviously, it's shit in the road. This is too jerky. I don't remember it being this jerky on the Amiga. It was a very, very low one, wasn't it? It was a year ago. But it's one of those games that, hey, a Corvette, that if you looked, particularly because of the roadside scenery, if you looked at the box or in magazines, you probably would have thought, hey, check it out. This looks alright. And then obviously in real life, much like now, when you play it, oh, it's jerky and the frame rate is in negative numbers. Don't remember the Porsche being that much of a dickhead on the Amiga version. Also, again, it may have been on the A500 Mini, but between stages, it literally stopped, hung on a screen, and then loaded the next screen in. Emulation? Or that was Amiga problems? By all means, let me know. Anyway, don't actually think there was a convertible Ferrari F40. And also, if there was, in this game, hey, it's snowing, put your fucking roof up. This is a very, very bad, version. It's funny, this is so jerky. Thanks for wasting my turbo because it was waiting for the game to start. I do like the weather effects. It's almost got a frame rate like Outrun on the ZX Spectrum, the original one, which was pretty pants. And I would say Outrun, Turbo Outrun on the ZX Spectrum, probably faster than this. See you later, Porsche boy. That is your real name. Right. The music's, it's a reasonable rendition. It's not going to, reach the dizzying heights of the Amiga because it's the Atari ST. It's an AY. Is it an AY chip? I want to say it was an AY chip. I think he stole that guy's wallet. I don't think I lose if I don't beat him. But also, when you do 4 stages, you can upgrade your cup. That looks horrible. I don't remember it being this fucking choppy. I'm playing this on my Super Console X. I don't think that's got anything to do with it, but I don't remember it being Indianapolis this fucking choppy. Look, another random Porsche. Carrera, I believe. It's loading now. I can see that. I may be nervous. I did edit a little bit. So there are some loading times in this compared to the Amiga version. But yeah, don't remember it being this choppy on the Amiga. I really, really don't. Don't think it's an emulation thing. Oh! I just turboed into a tree. Yeah, somehow here we are, still alive. Yeah, this is awful. I would say, while the Mega Drive version is terrible, and it has a complete lack of scenery, which might be why this is chugging along in the negatives, it was probably a little bit smoother than this. So this is night and day between the Amiga version. I honestly believe that. Right. Oh, no, it had signs. But I don't recall there... Well, it looked like there was a split. When you want to let me accelerate, you let me know. Thank you, game. That's weird. It's nice undulation. There's a positive. Probably the only positive you're going to get. Your car sprite's alright, actually. It's 2 positives. I'm really spoiling this game. There's a mini in it. That's 3. That's all you're getting. And again, I didn't hit the tree. This is... my hand's turning into a claw. I'm pressing that hard. Right, turbo gauge, by the way, I forgot to mention that. It's underneath lap in the top right. Brake. I want to find a gap in the middle. And I didn't. Can you not flip the car? I'll tell you what, right, when the demo kicks in, what's funny about it is, however the opponent, the computer controlling your car is doing at the end, when the title of the game appears on the screen, determines how the title screen looks. It's kind of cool. Ultimately, it doesn't say the game that's shite, but that does, because we got a band called Outrun Heart. And they look like the Beatles. No, you haven't saved the game. Right. Yes, there are loading times in this, and they are awful. Also, it appears to have gone funky there. High power engine. Yes. Maybe there are emulation issues. Maybe I should get a white stick. Don't know. But yeah, high power engine. Oh look! Hey, she's got out! She's got... Oh, that's what you fucking whore. That's what happens then, if he beats you. It's a nice touch. It doesn't stop her being a whore. And this game sucking. Because this is awful. Frame rate? What frame rate? Oh, you do flip. I'm actually braking. I'm braking. You know what else is braking? The game. Look at it. Horrible. But it's an arcade conversion, and now that I can play Atari ST games, I have to. By all means, let me know if this is not emulating it correctly. I mean, it does speed up when there aren't so many buildings. But, yeah. Does she only get out after 4 stages, like, where you upgrade? Is that, like what would be the first stage of the course? Right. I like the moon. Oof. all of a sudden it seems to have developed the loading times from the Amiga on my A500 Mini. Yeah, look, speed, well, you haven't got a massive amount of shit in the background, which, you know, I praised it for over the console ports. The speed picks up, the frame rate picks up. When you've got a massive amount of shit in the background, particularly underpasses and shit, it slows down. I'm not saying without them it's still super fast, but yeah, this is awful. This is shite. Oh, it's the old bill. Credits remaining. Let me look. I'm accelerating. You can see it in the gauges, but obviously it's loading. Right, where's the old bill? Is this him? Yeah. There's two of them. Bye. Oh no, that's the Porsche boy. The old bill's. Ah. Right. Oh, well, the controls are shite. We'll go by when there's nothing on the road. It's probably our only chance. Brake! Why is there shit in the road? I don't pay my road tax for this. Do you have road tax in America? Oh, does he even nick you? He just rams me. I'm pretty sure if I own this car, I can afford the fine. And I could own him. In court, that is. Memphis. Yeah, the loading times are getting shite. Weird. Emulation, I guess. Anyway, so we're over on the Atari ST. It ran a lot better on the Amiga, but in both cases it's emulation, so I don't know. By all means, let me know what your experiences are with this game. Would you have been happy with this back in the day if you liked the arcade machine Outrun? I'm going to say no, because of how let down we all felt with all the micro versions of the original game, of which this was supposed to make amends, but yeah, this is shite. Anyways, always love to look at it. Love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.